morning guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. How's it going? Sorry for the lack of content recently. I've just been doing a lot on Instagram and not so much on YouTube just because I've been busy. Today what we're going to do is we're going to stick this little Civic on the dyno and see what sort of power it makes. Ideally I'm looking for around about 250 wheel horsepower, 300 brake horsepower. Yeah, because I want to try and keep it as a nice sort of thing to nip about, and it's never going to be the fastest car in the world. It's just a little bit of a sleeper, surprise a couple of people because the RX-7 is the main car. So we're going to head down to BEYTEK racing today, and we're going to go down to the dyno and stick her on and see what she makes. As you can see here, she's in like total stock trim just now. I've even got the wheel trims cable tied on the outside of the alloys, just to make it look even more sort of sleeper. So nothing wild going on, nothing you know, that would stand out, tell you it was a sort of bit of a sleeper. So as you can see, the intercooler hangs down a little bit below the bumper through there, so yeah. She's a cool looking little car, I think, and it definitely surprises some people. So made it in one piece, obviously. It's not too bad of a drive here actually, it's only about an hour, so it's mainly motorways, which is fine because just sits and cruises around about 3k at 70 odd. So we're here now at BEYTEK Racing, and plenty of cars in the car park to be playing with, and my banger Civic. So what we're going to do first thing is just chuck it in the dyno, get this thing over and done with, and then I can get on with some other wee jobs around the shop, yeah, and see how it gets on. So I'm just about to sort of get it all strapped up and stuff like that, square her out on the rollers. I was just looking over here, and this is just my little run files. The first one here was the 1.4 engine, the D14, naturally aspirated, and this was the D16, the 1.6. Obviously this isn't wheel horsepower, so it's, you know, it's kind of off, but you can sort of see the power differences here between the sort of the 1.6 and 1.4. So it'd be interesting to see what the 1.6 engine is now with a turbo in it. So I'll go over it again, go over the setup with you guys. This is a Pulsar G25-550 with internal wastegate and 3-inch downpipe, and it's like a 2-inch exhaust back, so that's going to hold it back big time. The ECU on it's a Max ECU Sport, and nothing really wild to it. We've got RX-8 injectors. In fact, I think they are actually, yeah, they are RX-8 blue injectors. And that's really it. Inside it's max speed and rod internals, as in rods, stock bearings, complete stock bearings. The pistons are JE pistons. So yeah, so she's forged engine with a welded in block card. So yeah, before I forget, I need to put oil in this thing. Should also mention as well, the head is a standard head gasket. It's got a comp cam in it, and the head studs are actually from a K24, time setted in the block, so they seem to be a lot stronger. Righty here, just now getting the thing warmed up. I've strapped it down. I'll start up that fan in a second, and then we'll do some sort of little pulls just to kind of warm the thing up and get her into action. We'll do the first pull. Second time I've had a car come off a dyno. Fucking hell. Let's go for that, we'll go for a wee pull then. First pull. 250 wheel. That's me already at the goal. I'm already there. So, very first pull.
Wait, a bit of wheel spin.
Well, yeah, a bit of wheel spin. We've got 288 brake horsepower. So, yeah, 250 at the wheels. So what I'll do is we'll go for another pull then. I can really feel that flat spot on my tyre. I'll tell you that for free. So what I'll do now is I'll add some boost in, just a little bit, and we've also sticking up the tyres, so we'll see how that does. We'll go for another pull of that then, a wee bit more boost this time. 293 wheel horsepower, so it's a bit all over the shop. So I'm going to have to go and have a look at this log, because it looks like the timing's maybe coming in and out it. Let's see where we're at, or hovering or a cut or something like that. Let's have a quick look. Kind of rich. 1.2 bar of boost, so getting there, but and that's the rev limit. So let's add some more boost into it, because we need to get 300 wheel horsepower would be nice, and add a little bit of timing into it as well. Here, actually that looks pretty fine as it is. Gonna leave it at that. So at 1.2 bar, I'm running up to like 16 degrees of timing, so can maybe add a wee bit here. So what we'll do is we'll go over that last pull. So we came up, we got to 1.3 bar of boost, so only 0.2 of a bar more. Fuel duty is 72, so that's still okay. Coolant pressure just to 1.1ish, and fuel pressure not the greatest, but look at the AFR, like AFR's all over the shop. It doesn't like being on a dyno. I prefer to be on the road, because tuning on the road you'll find your graphs will be different, especially with closed loop. It's just because the loads are different, really, to be honest with you. So let's go and see what power we made at 1.3 bar. Holy shit.
Yeah.
319 wheel horsepower. So that's a massive jump in 0.2 of a bar. Let's see what that is. Right, so 319 wheel horsepower and 274 torque. Like that's foot-pounds of torque, so that's a lot of torque, you know. And if you look at it, look at the area under the graph. That's why this thing is so spicy. I'm not joking. See that Pulsar G25? Remember, this is only a little 1.6 engine. A little 1.6 with 1.3 bar of boost makes some silly power. So what that is in brake horsepower for UK guys. So there we have it. Obviously 319 wheel horsepower, and that makes, we got this added here, so 3.19 plus 10 divided by 0.9. If you look at any chart all over the world really, if you put wheel horsepower in and do this calculation, that's the power of the flywheel. So that's brake horsepower, 366 brake horsepower, and that was on, I think it was on the third run. So let's have some fun here and have a look at the difference between a D14 natural aspirated, the D16 natural aspirated, and the D16 with the G25 on it. So here we have it guys, the red line here. We made 85 wheel horsepower. That was on the D14, and that was actually a very high horsepower rating for a D14. It proved really healthy. And for the D16 natural aspirated BEYTEK, we actually made, I think it was 121 wheel horsepower. Yeah, 121 wheel horsepower, which was like 140 brake horsepower. And with the turbo. Jesus guys, check the size of that. So this mound here of extra power is because of that turbo. And yeah, we are now making 319 wheel horsepower, 274 foot-pounds of torque, and look, we're talking here, we're making boost, we're already making more power at like 2 and a bit K. That's just where I started the dyno, it probably makes more power less. And you can see straight away, you know, 3K it starts building boost, 4 or 5, as she comes into BEYTEK, she's into the fucking cam, and she just pulls that power right the way along there, a massive, massive power band. That's why this thing's, you know, lit the wheels up, and that's why we had to use some of this dyno sauce, because the torque comes in quite hard, and you know, for these skinny little tires. So yes, that is some comparison if you ask me. I'm proper happy with this little thing. Like this, look at this little 1.6 engine. Like it's not even the good 1.6, it's not a B16, it's a D16. It only has one cam on it, one little cam, and Pulsar G25-550 turbo on it. You guys know I rate them, I sell them, so I'm all over them, but you know, the data doesn't lie. I've just showed you there, 1.3 bar of boost, and makes 366 horsepower. That thing has flown some serious air. And to be fair, I could just keep turning it up, but fuel system's getting near the peak, and like I say, this thing isn't supposed to be a fast car. It's supposed to be just a little runaround, a little bit of fun, while the main car, the RX-7's getting fixed. Also, I should also say, tiny little 2 3/4 inch exhaust. So anyway, thank you very much to Simon at BEYTEK Racing and all the guys for letting me use the dyno. It's done a lot more power than I was expecting it to be honest. Like really easy, like that's the fourth pull. I'll just pull it off at that because I could add timing and stuff like that. I could chase some more power, but I'm not going to bother. It just does it. Yeah, big shout out to Max ECU as well. It just makes my life so much easier because everything I knew I'd be just, ECU does everything for me. I don't really tune this thing, I just add some timing, pull some fuel, add the boost, and it does the rest. So anyway guys, thanks for coming along. I apologise for the delay in the last video. I'll keep it up and I'll keep pushing, and from now on onwards I think the next videos is going to be RX-7 engine build and get that thing back together. Right guys, thanks for coming along, much appreciated, love you all, and we'll catch you in the next vid. Cheers.